So, what I've done is I have played the worst simulator of 2025 just so that you guys don't have to play it. And I mean, to be fair, there is a big chance that you're not going to play it anyway. It would never be on your radar. It's by no means a big game whatsoever. Like, this is some tiny game. But I want to get into this one, which is Scrap Dealer Simulator. I was given a key to play early. I can't remember who gave me the key, but thank you. I do appreciate it. And there was already sort of like red flags before the game even released. So basically, this game was scheduled to release on the 25th of March. That was the release date on Steam. It was on SteamDB. I wrote it down in my phone because I use my phone to keep track of game releases as well. And then all of a sudden, I have a look at the news section on Steam to see if there's updates and stuff for games. And I saw it said Scrap Dealer Simulator now available. So I went and had a look, and without even saying a word, they forwarded the release date by 3 days just to get the game out and on the shelves. And it has been met by mixed reviews, rightly so. If anything, I think they should drop to negative just so that this developer and publisher stop doing what they've just started. Because this is not their first game, this is their second game. The same developer, same publisher, this is their second game. Their first one wasn't received well either. They're very small games, they're cheap as well. But their first game released literally February 2025. So they've released 2 games within the space of a month. The first one is more survival based. It's called Port Town or something like that. It's going to set you back just under £6. And then you've got Scrap Dealer Simulator. It's got an introduction discount. It's going to set you back about £4.50. So not expensive whatsoever. Less than $10 for the games. Like, each one's less than $10. But this Scrap Dealer Simulator has a description that says, run your grandfather's old scrapyard, collect and dismantle scrap, craft materials and sell them at the second-hand shop. Manage hunger and thirst while upgrading your business with new machines, storage and vehicles. Pay off your debts, expand your scrapyard and turn junk into fortune. So it's like, okay, it sounds decent. And then the full-on description mentions what you get to do in the game. It says that you're left with nothing but debt. You need to pay it off. Survival's not going to be easy. You have to manage hunger and thirst in a simulator about being a scrap dealer. And it says that you earn money to upgrade your scrapyard with new production stations, bigger storage spaces and better vehicles to transport more scrap. Then in the game, you get to gather abandoned metals, machines and appliances. You get to upgrade your vehicles to carry more scrap. There's no upgrading, you buy new vehicles. They say you process materials and sell them at the second-hand shop. You keep an eye on your hunger and thirst. You unlock new production stations, storage areas and machines. You take a gamble by purchasing warehouses filled with unknown items. You convert your raw materials into high-value products for bigger profits. You roam the town and discover new scrap sources. And it says to grow your business, survive and build your scrapyard empire. I'm going to say this straight away. This game is a load of shit. I spent half an hour on it and I wanted to ask the person that gave me a free key for a refund. Like, this game is unbelievably bad. What they need to do is stop working on 2 games at the same time. Work and focus on one game. Release that one. Then put time and effort into your next game and release it when it's ready. This is a full release, by the way. This ain't early access. And they are constantly putting out updates. I see at least 1 or 2 updates a day, and about 98% of them don't have any patch notes. I've got no idea what they're doing with this game, but it ain't good. And then when you load up the game, you load into a new game. The very first thing you are given is this god-awful soundtrack. It's like these songs have been ripped from one of the worst radio stations in a Grand Theft Auto. They are just constantly playing, and you are spawned outside the scrapyard. There's a person there you can speak to, and they'll basically give you a rundown of what's happening. Like, nothing's really explained, though. I mean, I'm guessing they thought it was quite obvious. You're running a scrapyard, go find scrap, change it into, convert it into stuff and go sell it. And then you get to your little office sort of thing, and you can place you can place production machines in there. But the whole time you've got these bars at the top left that are just lingering on the HUD. Like, part of your UI that say, in order to run a successful scrap dealing business, you need to eat and drink. Just cut the survival out of it. If you're trying to expand your empire, you're playing it how many simulators get released? And you still can't pick up on the fact that running a scrapyard shouldn't require survival. That would be like saying in Recycling Centre Simulator, you need to go and take a shit every half an hour. Like, it doesn't belong in the game. It really does not fit in the game. At the start of the game, they give you a food pack, which has got probably well over an hour and a half's worth of gameplay's worth of food in there, maybe even more. But all you're doing is these tiny little quests. Like, basically, it'll tell you, find enough scrap, get yourself 75 money, go to the shop and buy yourself a new machine. And then you're going to use that machine, you're going to make a couple of new products, you're going to go back to the town, you're going to sell them, you're going to buy a new machine, and you're going to do the same thing again. Oh, and if you want, whilst you're in the town, you can look through some bins, you can find some more trash, you can take it back, and you can deal with the scrap. You can build something new, you can take it to what they say in the game's description is a second-hand shop, when in the game it's actually a pawn shop. You can take it there, you can sell it, get some money, just rinse and repeat. They couldn't come up with anything for their game that much that they have a quest to basically do the same thing, rinse and repeat, earn yourself 1,500 and buy a minivan just so that you can carry more scrap. And another thing that was weird about this game is you have to put fuel in your machines. In one of the recyclers, you need to put like gas cans. In the furnace, you need to put coal. And you are driving a vehicle around. You are going through the town. You start off on like this little moped scooter thing. You are driving a vehicle, yet you do not have to put any fuel in it. So they've got survival mechanics in the game, but there's no fuel for your vehicle. And not only that, when you're driving your vehicle, if you continue moving forward and just press F to get off the vehicle, it will continue going in that forward motion, and it won't stop until it hits an object. And then what happens with that is there is no icon on the map for your vehicle, so if you forget where it's gone, you've got no chance of finding it unless you are roaming around looking for it. And when you're on your vehicle, the map doesn't move, so you've got, like, the map will rotate, but there won't be any movement. So if you get on your vehicle with a scrapyard, you drive into town and go to the pawn shop, you will only see the pawn shop on your mini-map when you get off the vehicle. It doesn't update. And they talk about collecting all this scrap and building up your empire. There's a few different machines in the game. Like, there's barely anything to do. I looked at a couple of the reviews because there's not that many. Like, honestly, this is a really, really small game, but there's not that many reviews, and I looked at them. And people are saying that they've got most of the stuff done within the first 2 hours. Like, it's a very, very small game, and that probably ties in with the price of the game. But, I mean, they shouldn't be selling this game to begin with. It's not worthy of a sale. It really annoys me when developers do things like this, where they release a game that's half-arsed, and you find out that they had a flop of a game literally a month ago, and they put all this stuff in the description that's going to catch your attention, is going to pull you into, like, for them to make the sale, for you to buy the game. When you get into the game, it's really bad. Like, I don't know if any of you will remember the day before and how they made it look really, really nitty-gritty, survival-based MMO. And then it released and it wasn't, it was literally an extraction shooter. They've made this game seem like a scrap dealer simulator when realistically you're just converting things, selling them, converting things, selling them. And I say that bit because there are these like rubble piles that you can use a shredder on, basically break them down and collect materials. And in order to make a shredder, you need materials to craft it. But then you can go to these rubble piles and some of them will give you one like steel fragment. You can then go to a pile of tires and it will give you nothing whatsoever. You will get no resources or materials from it at all. It's just bizarre how they've released a game thinking that it's going to, like, because you're not going to release a game that you think, oh, a couple of people have played it, that's fine. I'll make a quick tenner on this game, I'll move on to the next one. I know a lot of developers out there are passionate about what they do, but it shows that these, like, the people that have made this, whether it's one person or multiple, there's no passion there for games whatsoever. They're basically just releasing fodder. It's just games that, oh, fuck it, I'm going to release this game and I'm going to move on to the next one. I'm going to keep creating these really low effort, low quality games and just see if I can make a couple of quid. See if I can sell these and then pop down to the kebab shop. That's basically how it feels because there's no effort put into these games whatsoever. You're there with a shredder going through rubble piles trying to get resources so that you can recycle and everything like that. And you've got damage numbers. You've got, like, basically, you've got an invisible health bar on a pile of rubble in a scrap. It's just, this game's, it's stressed me out with how weird it is. You have to make sure you don't get thirsty and hungry in a game where you're simulating being a scrap dealer. and you're gathering fuel. You're buying fuel from a gas station. You're filling up a jerry can with fuel for your recycler, but you can't stick any of it in your moped. And then you've also got to buy yourself a minivan as part of a quest to get extra, like basically inventory slots when you've got a generous amount in the first place. Nothing in this game makes sense and it hurts my head. How hard would it have been to put effort into this? The idea of a scrap dealer simulator, really, really intriguing. And it goes to show the lack of effort when you don't even have a respawn button. I don't know why they added this feature, but if you press delete on your keyboard, you can kill your character. I mentioned the respawn feature because games, like some smaller games, add a respawn feature. If you get stuck, you can respawn. This game has a kill character function with the delete button on your keyboard. And let's just say, for an example, you've got a bunch of materials that you've just scrapped. You've basically got a load of scrap on you. You've got a massive bunch of food. You've got a load of fuel that you just bought at a gas station. You press delete and kill your character for whatever reason, whatever would make you press that button. You press delete, you kill your character, and a fucking loot bag drops off your character. Everything from your inventory gets dropped on the floor when you die. So just what possessed the developer to go, I know, we need a function so that when players press delete, they kill themselves. How? Why? It absolutely blows my mind, but I think I've said enough when it comes to this game. By far the worst simulator of 2025, and we're in March, so there's still a lot of the year left, but I don't think I'm going to play one this bad. They can be bad, but I don't think you'll get this bad, honestly. And again, a massive thank you to the person that gave me the key. I really can't remember who it was, but I am so glad I didn't have to pay for this and then go through the refund system on Steam. This was a really, really bad game. But we are going to leave that video there. I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it.